Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Wanted to share with you some legislation that's being pushed around, and I thought you would be interested in it and want to learn a little more about it, so you can reach out to your congressional leadership if you are interested in having them support it as well. So I'm going to start off with, I'm going to butcher the name. I'm just going to try to say it as best I can so I don't have to fumble on it. I'll just say it like I think it sounds, or whatever, and we'll go from there. So hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. If you're not a member, consider joining. It does help the channel, and eventually I can buy some Hooked on Phonics and read better. All right, moving on. Member Spotlight. Representative Siskamani, that's the word, I'm thinking that's how you say it, leads bipartisan push to increase benefits for online student veterans. Yay! That's great. So most of you know that your pay is different. Let's say if you're post 9/11 GI Bill and you show up to school in person and your buddy just does online, you're going to get two different checks. So let's see what's happening here, because this could be a very, very big piece of legislation for many veterans and soon-to-be veterans, right? Folks that are getting out. So last week, Representative Juan Siskamani introduced bipartisan legislation to increase the Department of Veterans Affairs they forgot the we. So it's not even me screwing this up. So they said monthly housing allowance, right? So monthly housing allowance, stipend for, and it's not even that, right? Because it's the what is it, BHA? Basic Housing Allowance, right? So whatever. Moving on. Stipend for student veterans who attend classes online during the summer semester. So the bill is HR, House of Representatives 5702, the Expanding Access for Online Veteran Students Act. Now, this I think is going to be I think it's a good thing so far. So let's see what it says. Would increase the monthly housing allowance for veterans taking online classes during the summer semester at their college or university. Under current law, in-person students currently receive a full month housing allowance, whereas their counterparts taking classes virtually only receive half. Full bill text is available here, and there's a little hyperlink, which I will try to remember. I'm not feeling super well, but I'll try to remember to link that and put it in the comment section, because it doesn't really work in the description. So moving on. As our service members transition to civilian life and pursue educational opportunities, they should have full access to all the benefits they have rightfully earned, said Representative Siskamani, in a response to the growing prevalence of virtual classes. This legislation seeks to eliminate the disparity in benefits between in-person and online student veterans. I agree. I mean, we're in 2023, and many people are trying to hold down a part-time or just a crappy full-time job while they are going to school. So traditional school doesn't even really work. In that case in point, when I had my Montgomery GI Bill, I never used it because I had to work. So, and I wasn't going to do they had the mail away stuff, correspondence courses, but I wasn't that interested in that. All right, moving on. The Expanding Access for Online Veteran Students Act is supported by several veteran service organizations, including the American Legion, Veterans of Foreign Wars, VFW, Student Veterans of America, and AMVETS, which is American Veterans. So very, very good. Again, the bill number is HR 5702, HR 5702. And that is, there's another little hyperlink here, and it says, plan would boost GI Bill payouts for students' online summer classes. Students using the post 9/11 GI Bill benefits to attend college classes online during the summer would be eligible for larger housing stipends under the bipartisan plan unveiled in the House this week. If approved, the measure would result in a significant financial boost to students working through summer months to accelerate their degree programs. The measure faces an uncertain path to becoming law. However, given a host of other legislative priorities in Congress, so the proposal offered by Republican Representatives Juan Siskamani of Arizona and Derek Van Orden of Wisconsin, Greg Stanton of Arizona, and Democrat Representative Melanie Stansberry of New Mexico, comes in a response to the growing offerings of online classes and non-traditional degree timelines. The plan would not affect students studying remotely during the traditional school year. Those individuals currently receiving monthly housing stipends of about $1,000, half the national average of the housing support payouts to active duty troops and full-time GI Bill students. Students who attend classes in person receive payouts based on where their school is located, with some getting more than $3,000 monthly to help with higher rent and living costs in expensive areas. But that total is slashed in half if a student attends all of the semester classes remotely. The new proposal would guarantee stipends of nearly $2,000 a month for 12-week summer courses, helping to cover those personal expenses. Okay, so basically it's a step in the right direction, is what I'm seeing, which is good. I mean, sometimes you have to take steps instead of just the leap. As our service members transition to civilian life and pursue educational opportunities, they should have full access to all the benefits they have rightfully earned, Siskmani said in a statement in response to the growing prevalence of virtual classes. We already read that. The legislation, my cat's in here now, the legislation wouldn't go into effect until August 2024, meaning GI Bill users would not be able to receive the largest stipends until the summer of 2025 semester at the earliest. Still, Stansberry said in a statement that the move is needed now to help close the gap and help our veterans pursue higher education on their own timeline. But House leaders have not announced any timeline for consideration of the measure. Both congressional chambers are working this week to pass budget bills and avoid the government shutdown, which we've passed the first shutdown date. Now we bought ourselves 45 days, so now we're looking at the middle of November as our next kind of drop dead date. But to me, it's these types of things where we have to continue to voice our thoughts to our elected leaders so they understand where we stand on things. So the final paragraph here is the post 9/11 GI Bill is the most popular education benefit provided by the Department of Veterans Affairs, with more than 834,000 beneficiaries receiving about $9.9 billion in financial support in fiscal 2022 alone. So sounds like they're moving in the right direction. It sounds to me like a full-time student, in-person student who's receiving their full housing allowance then decides to go to summer classes, but if they're virtual, they're getting their money cut in a third potentially. So this is a way to help increase that stipend while they're going remotely. But this opens up the eyes, right, to going to school virtually in general, which it should just be you paid into GI Bill money, you should just get it if you're going to school and getting at least C's, right? So you should be able to recoup it in its full. And I believe it should be based on your home address for your housing allowance. So with that, that's my 2 cents. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.